Hey, this is William for AttackOfTheFanboy.com, and this is Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I'm here with Anthony, an old friend of the site.
Hi guys.
Hello, Anthony. How have you been?
Good, good. Excited
Waiting
to
for the day that Call of Duty Infinite Warfare hits your
waiting, just waiting.
pining.
Salivating if you will.
Yes, I know you're a huge Call of Duty fan.
I heard there was going to be a nice collector's edition.
Yeah, you are a collector's edition fiend. And they are doing a hell of a job of pushing this one out there with bonuses and goodies like the Modern Warfare Remastered. And for those of you who haven't been following Infinite Warfare, obviously this game didn't get off on the best of foot, right?
Yeah, I
Like
mean
it
that
didn't.
video that came out, it was just not a lot of likes on the YouTube, as the kids say.
Yeah, it didn't have the likes, but I think they've kind of turned it around since then. E3 was a good showing for them. Um, I think they kind of like justified some of what they're trying to do with this game. It's a brand new setting, obviously. Infinite Warfare is futuristic
Well, some would
in
argue
nature.
by saying, basically already hooked whoever's going to buy it by bundling it with Modern Warfare Remastered.
Well, regardless, that may be the case. Today, I did get a chance to go hands-on with the multiplayer. For the first time, they kind of let a bunch of press in to play Infinite Warfare for prior to the opening of Call of Duty XP. As this video is up, there will be a trailer out there, probably a ton of gameplay along with our own. Um, uh, what I do need to note is that Activision did fly us out here for this hands-on, and they did pay for our hotel. Not that that'll color our impressions of the game, but in this day and age, so many times people have been. All right. Yeah. So as it is with YouTube these days, I just wanted to get that out in the open. Anyway, so we've kind of talked about this game a little bit before, doing this recording, Anthony, and I've kind of explained to you my thoughts on what I feel this game plays like, and
Which is a
it
great,
plays like
great
Black Ops
thing
3.
because Black Ops 3 is my favorite this generation.
But
It is. It really is. I mean,
is it? Is
well,
it
let's see. What are our choices
over
here?
Advanced
Advanced
Warfare?
Warfare and Ghosts.
Well, I like
Congrats, you're the one
Ghosts.
person.
God damn it! So like, you're the one person on the planet that like
Oh,
Call of Duty Ghosts. I like the dogs. I like the dogs. No, I mean the the bottom line for me with Call of Duty most of the time is my friends play Call of Duty and I have fun playing it with them. So if they like Ghosts and they're cool with playing Ghosts, I'll play Ghosts because the gunplay is always the same. It's the stuff that's around it that's not always
yeah.
great. You know? So Black Ops 3 was a pretty damn good Call of Duty game. Um, for me personally, I think from a multiplayer perspective, uh, the speed of that game and the way that Treyarch kind of designed maps to push players into engagements all the time, just constantly funneling them through map design into gunfights is awesome. You know, it's kind of taken away a lot of the camping
They
aspects
brought a
of
lot of new
those games.
aspects
But
to the table
regardless,
for Call of
this
Duty,
isn't.
and they were all implemented in a superb, intricate way that players just accepted them and enjoy them. And arguably,
Yeah,
Treyarch is the better of the three developers right now. And this is Infinity Ward having that 3 years and trying to prove it.
yeah. This is their first crack at getting the 3 year cycle. Um, and from what I saw, this game looks fucking awesome. I've got to play it on the PlayStation 4. Um, my only complaint with doing that is the
So
controller.
you,
I'm
you
not a
played on the
huge
best
fan of
platform,
playing
is what
Call
you're
of Duty
saying.
on the.
Okay, good job. Go on.
We did play it
Yep.
on the PlayStation 4. But you know what people are going to take away from Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is that there's a new system in place for, you know, your character selection. So if you played last year's game, you know specialists exist. So this year, instead of specialists, you have what's called a combat rig, and these combat rigs are archetypes for your character. Some are, you know, one super stealthy that has a sniper rifle that can hook people from or harpoon people from a long ways away. One turns into a four-legged machine animal that runs through people. One is a regular, just run-of-the-mill soldier.
So nobody will pick
like
that guy.
all-around
Gotcha.
balanced. Well, no, but it's got a cool weapon that can like shoot around corners and stuff. So they each have their own. One has a shield where you can put it up and run through like a crowd.
I feel
of
like you're
people. If you
describing
see
Metal
three
Gear
guys,
Solid
you just
bosses.
Put the shield up and you can run through. Yeah, I mean, some of them really fucking look like that. I mean, they do. They kind of look like the.
Yeah.
What are they? The skulls? Is that what they're called? Yeah, some of them look like these things. They are definitely interesting, but there's definitely also going to be customization, so they're not going to look like that. They're going to look like fucking Marvel
With a
superheroes
poncho
and
and a
shit.
hat.
Who knows? But
Because that's how I like them.
with a poncho and a hat, yeah. So each class, you know, has their own payload, which is a weapon or an ability, kind of like Black Ops 3. That's going to be a theme
I haven't
of
caught on to
this,
it yet, so go on.
video. You haven't caught on to it, but you know, just like that game where you could pick either or, you can do either or with your combat rigs or class, whatever you want to call it. And then you also have perks. So these are, I guess they call them traits actually, and they're persistent to your character. They're abilities or buffs to different aspects of your character. So on top of that, then you also have your normal, like, create a class system. So you can pick your standard assault weapon, shotgun, LMG, SMG, you know, launchers, pistols, tactical, and lethal equipment. And all that stuff is, you know, some of that stuff is from older games, some of it is from newer games, but they also have two classes of weapons within those normal classes, which are the guns that you'll be using most of the time, because those payloads are like the Black Ops specialists. They run on a timer and you earn them as you earn kills, but they are persistent, so you kind of will earn your specialist ability. Oh, I said specialist ability. I told myself I wasn't going to say that. Your payload ability, but within the regular weapons that you'll be using, you have ballistic weapons, which are, you know, some of the weapons that you'll see in older Call of Duty games, but they're a modern take on that. They evolved them, the aesthetic of them, what they look like, to, you know, appear what they would look like in the future. And then you've got directed energy weapons, which are
Lasers.
obviously like
Air quotes.
lasers.
Lasers.
Yeah, let's make it very simple. We got the lasers. So they got the lasers, and there's new damage mechanics to that. They slowly regenerate ammunition,
That's going to be interesting on the battlefield.
and you know, it does make for a more colorful.
Ooh, can you
like,
customize the
battlefield.
laser color?
And I was telling,
That's going to be good.
I don't know that. Yeah, that'll be good. Some
I'll be
people will
shooting
probably be
pink.
shooting weed leaves. So, aside from that stuff, like that superficial changing of the names and kind of reorganizing, you know, how these classes work, you know, it kind of plays the same as you would expect a Call of Duty game.
Not to
play.
undermine what the developers have
Pretty much.
accomplished here. I mean, because Black Ops is a great game in its own, and what they're doing.
Yeah, they're building
See,
on.
they seem
They're
to,
definitely building
yeah.
on something that's good here.
They seem to have changed enough to where, okay, you're like, all right, this is a new game, this is different. And they even got a little bit of the zero gravity stuff, but it feels more, it's like aesthetically, after you die, it's not like jumping around and all that stuff, right?
Right. Yeah, I mean, some of that stuff in the levels themselves is definitely stuff you haven't seen in a Call of Duty game before. When you couple all that stuff with the space aesthetic and what the game actually looks like, which is pretty impressive, and it's, a new Call of Duty experience. How much these games have changed from year to year over the last, you know, couple years. Since Ghost, they've changed a lot, but over the last 3 years, it's kind of starting to get back in that groove of like, well, we reinvented this. Now we're going to just kind of tweak it as it goes now, right?
Subtle changes.
Yeah, more subtle changes. It definitely doesn't feel like a huge deviation from what we saw last year. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just going to depend on the person. At some point, there's a lot of people out there that don't really want that movement system anymore. They're tired of like the jumping around, and they wish they could go back to the old Call of Duty days. And I think
Oh,
that's probably one of the reasons that they're offering the Modern Warfare.
there you go.
You know?
But I mean, I like the running and jumping. It made it feel like every moment you're in the moment. You know what I mean? Every moment you're there, it could be
There's
just you running
always
around
an
a corner.
opportunity for like something spectacular to happen, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
or something like totally like, what the fuck just happened to me? How did this guy kill me from there? That was insane.
Oh, do they have like a rig again where you could like ping people through walls and you see them on the other side?
Yeah, they have. There's
That
so
one's
many.
back. Nice.
Yeah, they have so many. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that's one of them. Like they have tons of different um, traits and perks that you can put on your character that give you different things like that. Like one of them allows you to zero in on the person. They'll put an outline on the person who's shooting at you, so you can find them in a crowd or whatever. Uh, they have a bunch of different, like one where you'll spawn with a shield on your back, so you can't get spawn killed from behind. It gives you just enough time to like flip around and shoot at the person that's shooting you in the spawn.
With the controller
possibly.
in hand, yeah, the game looks, plays, and feels like a Call of Duty game. They've run into the same problem every year with these games. It's how much do you change it? How drastically do they change it? And for Infinite Warfare, I think the outrage over the game being in space and set in space is kind of, in my opinion, overblown. And especially now, after actually playing the game, it feels very much like this modern era of Call of Duty games. And you've got all your familiar modes: team deathmatch, domination, kill confirmed, capture the flag, search and destroy, search and rescue, free for all, grind, drop zone, infected, demolition, gun game, reinforce, hardpoint, uplink, and then a couple of new modes called defender and frontline. We didn't really get to check out frontline, but we were talked to about defender, which is a game of keep away where teams can collect and control a drone. You gain points by holding the drone, and basically the action just kind of flows around the map by this drone resetting. But honestly, aside from the gameplay stuff, what we were shown and what we saw were, the gameplay itself is familiar, and that's to be expected. But one of the major things, my major takeaways from what I was told and what we saw were in some of the progression elements for the game. This time around, you are going to be doing weapon crafting. So instead of the stuff in the black market where you were using crypto keys to unlock black market crates to possibly get weapons, and doing some of the side missions that they had added towards the back end of Black Ops 3, you're doing the weapon crafting. So I guess you're earning salvage from playing the multiplayer game, and you earn that in a number of different rarities, and you use the salvage to craft weapons, and you can craft common weapons up to epic weapons, and common weapons will allow you to add like a single perk to a gun. I'm not sure if you actually add it or if the gun is just made. It wasn't quite explained or shown in detail, but the gist of it was that they range from common to epic, and epic weapons have very unique traits, like, for example, a shotgun that has a machete attached to it that can be used as a melee weapon. So instead of, having to, it's just going to be it's what it sounds like is it's going to be a different type of grind for these weapon crafting things. And then there's also going to be mission teams, which have mission commanders, and the commanders deliver missions to you, essentially. And those range from different things, like basic kills and, completions of objectives. And these things will have you unlocking camos, new rigs, prototype weapons. And there's no chance involved, like, in that. That's not going to be an RNG sort of thing. There's no other way to get these exclusive unlocks than by completing these other missions and like side objectives which are within the progression system. So, a lot of that stuff for me as a Call of Duty player was, something that's interesting, something that will keep you going. Because I already know that I like the core Call of Duty gameplay, and I already know that I like the core Black Ops gameplay more specifically. So it's very similar in a lot of aspects. So adding a lot of that progression stuff does seem to, feel like it would make the game last longer. So that's about what I saw at Call of Duty XP for the Infinite Warfare multiplayer reveal. You've still got some gameplay behind this, and we'll have more coverage of the game as it is released as we get closer to the November launch for this one. We've also got some stuff up on the Modern Warfare Remaster. We'll have some Call of Duty Infinite Warfare Zombies coverage as well here in the near future. You can find all that stuff at attackofthefanboy.com or on youtube.com/fanboyattack. For Anthony, I'm William, and thanks for watching.